How would you like to learn a very simple technique to put past issues of trauma, abuse, emotional stress, relationship issues behind you and focus on the here and now, be more happy, and also improve your future? I've got a very simple technique that works with clients who have struggled with issues over a number of years. If you're interested, keep watching. Hi, my name is Jim Fatz, and I'd like to welcome you to the Wishing Wellness YouTube channel. I see a lot of clients in my role as a mental health counselor that come in and they've been struggling with issues sometimes over a long period of time. And typically their issues in the past, or they're issues that seem to be repetitive, cycles that repeat themselves over and over again, and they just can't seem to make a lot of changes. In some of these cases, the clients have watched The Secret and have used positive affirmation or tried to follow concepts promoted by Eckhart Tolle about living in the moment and living in the now. But for some reason, these clients are just kind of stuck. And I describe it as being stuck in quicksand. That's the analogy that seems to fit, that the more they try to get out and improve their situation, the deeper and deeper they get, or the just more immobilized they become. And in some cases, after just a few sessions, sometimes only one session, clients are able to make significant changes and really move forward in their life and make significant progress. And it's not because anything special that I do, it's just the way we convey the information. And the big trick to this is the difference between the concept of why and how. Many people that I meet are really focused on trying to figure out why something happened. And why something happened is almost impossible to define. Why something happened includes historical information that might not even be available for the person that's dealing with the issue or even for the other people that were involved in the issue at the time. Why includes stressors that existed at the time. It includes time-sensitive events like age and education, living situation, career status, emotional stability of the individuals at that point in time, environmental concerns. There's a whole package around concepts that feed into why that simply aren't available in the future moment, here and now. So when clients focus on why, they're trying to reach a conclusion and develop a solution to something using facts that are no longer available to them. And that doesn't even begin to touch the issue that why implies understanding motivation or intent and trying to come up with a logical conclusion when in reality many events that occur in the past that cause us significant issues or trauma or concern really don't have a logical reason as to why they occur. So why just keep people stuck in the past and frustrate people because they think they might have a solution and they move forward with the idea that they had a solution, but then they find out that that solution isn't exactly what the right solution is. Another way to look at those kind of situations are to understand how something occurred as opposed to why. Looking at how something occurs is more specific, is more factual. It provides a framework, and it provides better insight and understanding as to what may have occurred in the past in order to inform us for the current moment how to improve ourselves now and in the future. Understanding how looks at specifics as to what occurred, what elements were present, and based on that information, a person can make changes by eliminating those elements or modifying those elements and adjusting their current behavior based on understanding how something occurred in the past. So here's a little analogy that I'm using. And by the way, this concept between why and how applies to positive events and negative events, or negative issues and positive issues. It's just for counseling purposes, it's usually something that is a problem area for somebody. But let's say you had a garage and you just bought a car a couple years ago and you finally paid off that car. And you come home from work at the end of the day and you park that car in your garage and you go into your house, and a couple hours later there's a thunderstorm, and that thunderstorm occurs and your garage gets hit by lightning. It takes a while for the fire department to get there. Unfortunately, the garage burns down and the car burns down, or the car is burned and it's destroyed. And your insurance company doesn't cover the full value of replacing that car after you just got done paying it. So that's a tragic event, and it's a pretty crummy metaphor to use, but I use it because we can kind of flesh out some details. Somebody who's focused on why that occurred will come up with concepts like, why did this happen to me? Which is really not an answerable question. Or because it's an act of nature, why did God let this happen? Or why am I always stuck in financial problems because I just paid off a car and now I can't get full recovery from the insurance company for it? There's a lot of why there that provides no specific value and no specific information to really figuring out how to avoid that in the future or what really occurred. As an example, let's take how and look at that. How that occurred is, I parked a car in a garage. Lightning occurs when there's storms. Unfortunately, events occur that you have no control over. Lightning hit that garage and my car was in it. I didn't have an insurance policy that covered the full current value of the car or the replacement value of the car. The fire department took a longer time to come to the location and try to put out the fire, so the garage was totally involved and the car was already on fire and it couldn't be saved. And that's a non-emotional, well, maybe it's emotional for some people, but that's a hypothetical situation that really looks at the difference between why and how. When people understand how, they can move forward. They can look at the elements of the situation that occurred in the past. They can apply that to the current moment and see if those elements still exist. Could this how still happen today? And more specifically, how to avoid it from happening today. And therefore, they can put the past behind them. They can have better understanding of the past, and they can move forward to the future. So this subtle difference between why and how is extremely powerful. How provides motion and mobility forward. Why provides a lot of cyclical kind of stress, anxiety, lack of understanding, frustration, and never really can provide an honest answer, because why can't be answered after something has occurred. Why might not even be able to be answered at the time that something occurred. So focusing on how really provides a lot of power for somebody to focus on the here, the now, and using the here and now in order to help them move forward to the present. Now this alone is very powerful, but another concept that feeds into this and really provides the meat and the real power for people being more present and functional in the moment now and improving their lives now and in the future is the concept between process and content. And in my next video, I'm going to discuss how process and content can be used as tools to help a person understand repetitive patterns of dysfunction or lack of optimal choices or just not being the best that they can be in the moment and in the future. And that's the next video will be process and content. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'm always interested in hearing comments as far as people putting some of the things that they've heard in the video in practice. So please, if you've listened to the video and you've tried to shift from why to how, please make a comment. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer questions. If you're interested in my background and want to understand how I come to the conclusions I come to and what informs my way that I work with clients, I've got a link to my background down below. And if you'd like to contribute a one-time or ongoing donation to the Wishing Wellness Retreat Fund, there's also a link below. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you tune in to part 2 of the video series where we talk about process and content. Have a good day.